On February 24th, the global fashion scene lit up once again as Calvin Klein unveiled a brand new campaign featuring none other than Jungkook of BTS. But this wasn't just another celebrity endorsement. This was a statement. From the very first frame, the campaign feels cinematic. Directed and styled by visionary photographer Mert Alas, the visuals don't simply showcase clothes. They tell a story. A story about individuality, movement, nostalgia, and the powerful connection between music and fashion. And at the center of it all, denim, not just as fabric, not just as a trend, but as personal expression. Jungkook, who was appointed as a global ambassador for Calvin Klein in March 2023, has continuously redefined what it means to represent a brand. In this latest campaign, he steps into a slightly different persona, rebellious, confident, yet effortlessly calm. It's a refined evolution from his previous bold and high-contrast looks. The setting immediately transports viewers into a retro-inspired world. There's an orange carpet, slightly blurred visuals, and a nostalgic atmosphere that feels like stepping into a memory from the late 90s or early 2000s. The soundtrack adds another layer of familiarity, featuring the iconic song Footloose, instantly energizing the mood. And then, Jungkook moves. He doesn't just pose. He dances. There's a scene where he casually walks into a record store, flipping through vinyls, his body responding naturally to the rhythm. In a charming surprise, actress Rosie Perez makes a guest appearance, adding even more cultural depth to the campaign's narrative. The synergy between movement and denim is intentional. Calvin Klein jeans becomes the focal point of every look. We see silhouettes inspired by the 90s, especially the 90s straight cut, relaxed proportions, loose fits, and trucker jackets reimagined with premium washes. It's nostalgic, but not outdated. Familiar, yet completely refreshed. Layering plays a crucial role. One of the standout outfits features Jungkook wearing a minimalist CK logo tee layered over a long-sleeve shirt, a styling approach that once dominated punk and grunge subcultures. Back then, layering wasn't just practical. It was expressive. It symbolized attitude, identity, rebellion, and now, that aesthetic is making a comeback, with punk influences gradually regaining cultural relevance. This campaign feels perfectly timed. But instead of going full grunge chaos, Jungkook delivers a more polished interpretation. His 2026 palette leans monochrome, primarily shades of white, creating subtle depth through texture rather than color contrast. To anchor the softness, he pairs the look with faded black jeans that carry a silver undertone, subtly echoing his jewelry and piercings. The styling feels intentional without being overcomplicated. Minimal, yet impactful. True to Calvin Klein's DNA, the iconic waistband logo is subtly visible, a signature detail that fans instantly recognized. In his own words, Jungkook shared that he loves Calvin Klein jeans because they are designed for everyday wear. The pieces remind him of 90s style, while still maintaining a contemporary edge. More importantly, the campaign allowed him to connect his passions, music, dance, and fashion, with the energy of the city around him, and that connection is palpable. In other scenes, Jungkook experiments even further. He layers varsity jackets, trucker jackets, and leather pieces over tank tops. He embraces the classic Canadian tuxedo, denim-on-denim, proving that when styled correctly, even the most debated fashion choices can feel fresh and elevated. There's even a shirtless moment, tastefully shot, artistic, and aligned with the brand's long-standing minimalist sensuality. It doesn't feel provocative. It feels confident. That's the key difference. It's confidence without excess. Throughout every variation, denim remains the foundation. Whether it's straight-leg 90s cuts or relaxed baggy silhouettes, the campaign serves as a style guide for anyone looking to refresh their wardrobe this spring. But beyond the clothes, there's a larger narrative unfolding. Jungkook represents a generation that doesn't see boundaries between music and fashion. For him, dance isn't separate from style. A jacket doesn't just complete an outfit, it completes a movement. Fashion becomes part of performance, and with the highly anticipated return of BTS activities on the horizon, fans are already speculating. Could these looks inspire future concert outfits? Could this campaign be a visual hint at a new era? Whether intentional or not, The timing feels powerful. Calvin Klein has long mastered the art of simplicity, clean lines, strong silhouettes, confident visuals. Jungkook, on the other hand, brings emotional resonance and global influence. Together, they create something that feels both commercial and cultural. This campaign isn't loud. IT doesn't rely on dramatic effects. Instead, it leans into nostalgia, movement, and authenticity, and perhaps that's why it resonates so strongly. In a fast-paced digital world overflowing with overstimulation, there's something refreshing about watching an artist simply move, breathe, and exist in denim, letting personality do the rest. Is this just another fashion campaign, or is it a reminder that style, like music, evolves but always circles back to its roots? One thing is certain. When Jungkook steps into a space, whether it's a stage, a studio, or a retro record store set, he doesn't just wear the moment, he defines it. And if we look closer, this campaign also reflects something deeper about timing. Fashion is cyclical. Trends disappear, only to return years later with a new perspective. The 90s aesthetic, once considered purely nostalgic, is now being rediscovered by a new generation. Relaxed denim, oversized silhouettes, visible branding, and layered basics are no longer retro throwbacks. They're modern essentials. By placing Jungkook at the center of this revival, Calvin Klein isn't just selling jeans, they're bridging eras. There's a subtle dialogue happening between past and present. The record store setting, the use of Footloose, the layered styling rooted in punk and grunge culture, all of it references history. But Jungkook's interpretation feels distinctly current. His movements are fluid, his expressions relaxed, his energy grounded yet magnetic. That balance is powerful for longtime fans of BTS. This campaign highlights another dimension of Jungkook's artistry. We've seen him dominate global stages, deliver record-breaking performances, and command attention with explosive choreography. Here, however, the energy is more intimate. Instead of stadium lights, we get soft cinematic frames. Instead of high-intensity choreography, we get spontaneous rhythm, the kind that feels natural rather than rehearsed. IT shows growth, not just as a performer, but as a cultural figure. Since becoming a global ambassador in 2023, Jungkook has consistently demonstrated why he's a perfect match for the brand. Calvin Klein's identity has always centered around authenticity and understated confidence. Jungkook embodies that, especially in this era, where he appears more self-assured than ever. There's also something universally relatable about denim itself. Denim is democratic. It crosses borders, languages, and generations. Whether you're in Seoul, New York, Jakarta, or Paris, a great pair of jeans fits into everyday life. By anchoring the entire campaign around jeans, from straight-leg classics to relaxed baggy fits, the message becomes accessible. This isn't unattainable high fashion. It's wearable, adaptable, personal, and perhaps that's why the campaign resonates so widely online. Fans aren't just admiring a celebrity in luxury pieces. They're imagining how they might reinterpret those looks themselves, layering a white tee over long sleeves, experimenting with denim-on-denim, or rediscovering forgotten silhouettes in their own closets. IT sparks inspiration.